Why do age groups have different media preferences neurologically? Imagine your brain as a busy city with different neighborhoods growing and changing at different times. That's a lot like how our brains develop across ages and why we prefer certain media over others. When you're a young child, your brain is still building the roads for visual processing, language, and social skills. This means they tend to like media that is bright, simple, and visually engaging because their brains are still developing those areas. If they see complex stories or abstract ideas, it might be harder for them to understand or stay interested. As kids grow into teenagers, their brains go through big changes. The parts that handle emotions and social interactions, like the amygdala and prefrontal cortex, are still maturing. Teenagers are especially sensitive to social acceptance and peer opinions. This makes social media and content that involves friends or peer approval very appealing. Their brains respond strongly to social rewards, so they enjoy platforms that give instant feedback like likes and comments. Their impulse control is still developing, so they might spend more time on media that makes them feel connected or emotionally involved. Adults have brains that are more mature, with better control over emotions and decision-making. This means they often prefer media that makes them think, reflected, or learn something new. They are less driven by peer validation and more interested in content that offers depth or information. For example, adults might choose documentaries, news, or books over quick entertainment. Their brains are better at filtering distractions, so they tend to avoid overly stimulating or fast-paced media unless it matches their interests. From a cultural point of view, these neurological differences shape how each generation consumes media. Younger groups grow up with digital technology, so they prefer fast, interactive, and social content. Older generations might stick to traditional media like newspapers, radio, or television because their brains are wired differently for processing information. Understanding these brain-based differences helps explain why media trends shift over time. It also shows why marketers and content creators need to tailor their messages for each age group. Knowing how our brains develop and change makes it easier to see why certain media appeals to certain ages and how those preferences evolve as we grow.